What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Redriveraviation. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day today. Today I have my college decision announcement video for you guys. I really hope you guys are excited for today's video. This has been definitely a long time coming, for quite some time now. This will be huge going into my future, and this has been something that I've been thinking about a lot lately, and I thought that this would be the perfect time to share this announcement with you guys. Man, wow, this has been quite the process to get us started, man. I mean, this has been something that has been pondering in my mind, especially for the last 2 years, but especially the last year as we've gotten down to this decision process. Part of me has been absolutely insane. This was a very thorough and thought out decision, I can tell you that much. Something that I definitely put immense time and effort into to make sure that I made the right one, and I'm very confident that I did. But I want to share with you guys how we got to this point and what the full story is. So you guys may know bits and pieces as I've shared throughout on videos and such, but going into this video today, I'm going to give you guys the full can of worms, if you will, and kind of explain the full thing and announce the elephant in the room and where I'm going to college to pursue my future career in aviation. So I'm going to give you guys a plentiful amount of context so you guys head out with this video and know what's going on in my future going forward. So I'm going to give you guys some brief stories about the past and what kind of led up to this, and then I'm going to give you guys the future and what I anticipate and kind of everything in between. So with all that being said, we're not going to waste any further time and we're going to get started. So first off, the reason that I'm choosing to go to college is that I want to keep pursuing my education and add to my resume, and along with that I would like to pursue a career in aviation. And I believe that going to a secondary education is definitely the best way to do this. My family has high standards when it comes to education, and that definitely was a huge influence on why I chose to do this. I'm not saying that I was literally forced to go to college, but it was definitely the right choice, and as you guys may know, I definitely try to make the best decisions I possibly can. I think going to college is definitely one of those. So that was kind of the start of why I'm choosing to do this, and I think that this will definitely be the right choice. And you know, this has been something that I have high expectations for myself in everything I do. I don't like to slack off. I don't like to, what's some of the best things, best ways to put this? I'm not a slacker. I really try to do the best I can in everything. And this was just something that I thought that obviously was practical. It was inevitable not to go to college for me. So this is something that I knew was going to happen from the start. But going into this, as you guys may know, I've had a huge passion for aviation over the last 10 years. And first and foremost, I just want to stop for just a moment to say thank you to everybody that's made this possible. I've been a part of the aviation community online for about a decade now, and about 10 years. And this has been just such a special outlet to be able to share my passion with aviation for you guys. Expect a full video, a thank you video to you guys to come soon, because that's been something on my mind as of late, to thank you guys, and it's truly so meaningful, and I just cannot thank you guys enough. So thank you to everybody that's made this possible. But getting back on track here, I don't want to say necessarily decided, but I kind of always had that thought in the back of my head. I really want to be a part of aviation somehow, some way. All the way back to elementary school even. So that kind of just progressed throughout, and then, you know, I would say it was probably around the beginning of my junior year, it was a 100% this is what we're doing type deal. So that would have been back in the summer of 2020 when I decided that aviation is what I wanted to pursue. And as you guys may know, one of the biggest jobs in the aviation industry is commercial pilot, which is the outlet that I definitely think that I want to take going forward. This is something that I've always dreamed of, and being a pilot is just it's such an honor, man, to get to fly people around all the time. Well, in most cases, to get to fly people around, and just in general, I mean, being a pilot is such an honor, and it is very challenging, I can tell you that much, and especially through my experience so far, it is a challenging uphill grind for a very long period of time, but the end goal is definitely there, and that is definitely where I want to choose. So going into this, professional pilot is where I wanted to land. I've also considered a lot of aviation management stuff, and that is definitely not out of the question going forward, and that is also a consideration as well. We'll talk about that more in the future plans as well, but going into this, I knew professional pilot, aviation management, aviation in general, aerospace, whatever the case may be, that is where I wanted to land with my career. So obviously, making the right choice for this with such a, there's a lot of ways you could swing this, but in my opinion, I would call it a very focused, driven based, dedicated, hardworking field. I knew that I had to make a right choice for my education to do this. And There's obviously various options throughout the United States, as you guys may know. There's a lot of higher tier ranked aviation programs, including Amarillo University, University of North Dakota, Ohio State, Middle Tennessee State. There's a lot of them that come to mind off the top of my head, Purdue. I mean, we could go on about it for days, but one thing that I knew going into this for sure is that I wanted to stay relatively close to home. My family is very important to me, and I really enjoy the area that I am living in, pardon me. It's where I've grown up, and it's something that it's just something that I'm super passionate about, living in this space. And it's it's definitely, I honestly probably could not have picked a better place to get to grow up in. I didn't even really pick it, but I've grown to love Oklahoma. I absolutely love it. And I knew that going into this, I was going to want to stay in the proximity. With that being said, that doesn't necessarily limit my options, but it definitely got us started in the pick. So that's where we kind of move into what our options are. As you guys may see here, I got some t-shirts laid out, kind of give you guys some brief rundowns on what all my options were to kind of make this a formal decision, if you will. So we're going to begin with where I started. And we started back in July of 2021 with Oklahoma State University, as I'll show you what this shirt looks like. This one right here looks really nice that I got. That was back in July 2021, like I said, and that is where we started our college search. Now, as you guys may or may not know, all the schools that I decided to consider for this have absolutely phenomenal aviation programs, to say the least, especially professional pilot. Oklahoma State University has one of the most prestigious professional pilot programs in the United States. They have an absolutely outstanding fleet of about 40 aircraft consisting of Cessna 172, Cirrus SR-20s, Piper Seminoles, and various other aircraft that also contribute to their fleet as well. They are well known for what they do. They've put so many professional pilots into the industry. There's a lot, and their success rate is very high. Oklahoma State also just the institution in general is really, really nice. They have a lot going, including a really cool land grant campus with various features, including a really cool duck pond. I'm just naming a few. One of the biggest student unions, I think it's still the biggest student union in the United States. Various degrees, so many majors, I think like 200, it is a lot. Really good agriculture stuff. I think they also have business and various other topics. They have a lot of majors to choose from. Again, sorry that I'm not a complete nerd when it comes to knowing universities, but I definitely, in terms of the aviation and the living and what I would be experiencing, definitely went into that. But just in terms of the university, just a brief rundown. It's a really cool university, and they have a lot going for them. So again, I visited in early July 2021, and overall I would say that I was very impressed with the institution as a whole, and also their aviation side of things as well. There was a lot of variety, which I really enjoyed, and to complement that, I just got to see some student pilots as well getting to work during the summer, and that was just really, really cool to get to see that as well. There was a lot of great positive vibes at Oklahoma State, and I really enjoyed that experience, to say the least. So starting there was really cool. And one thing that's very interesting throughout this process, and I just cannot thank my parents enough for helping me with this, my mom and dad as well. They were both very informative, and they let me know what their thoughts were as well, which I really appreciate, because obviously going into this process, second opinions are definitely a great thing in my opinion for this. Obviously everybody may have their gut instinct or whatever the case may be, but secondary opinions, secondary thoughts, and just overall just multiple people going at the same topic is very helpful, and I just can't thank them enough for all their efforts and contribution to this process. It was very, very appreciated throughout. So that visit was absolutely awesome. We got a lot of great things going there, and that is where we started. A week later, also in July, we visited the University of Oklahoma. Oklahoma is located in Norman, south of Oklahoma City. If you guys don't know, Oklahoma State's in Stillwater. Sorry, I forgot to say that. But the University of Oklahoma, one of the, definitely I would say overall one of the best institutions in the region, and I would also argue that's one of the, a solid one for the United States. Maybe not the best one by any means, but a really great university in general. University of Oklahoma has a lot of awesome things going for them, starting with their aviation side of things. They have a solid, consistent fleet of Piper Warriors, pardon me, I apologize, Piper Warrior 3s to be particular, which were really nice, and I was very impressed with their efforts. It was really cool. They also have their own airport, which is really cool. That's just awesome in and of itself. I mean, having, I would say that probably 2/3 of their operations are all Oklahoma fleet-driven aircraft, which is really cool. University of Oklahoma, that is. So that was really cool in general. Just to have their own airport was also really nice. They also had a really nice facility in general. Oklahoma State, we'll talk about theirs in a minute, Really nice facility overall. I can't talk today. Solid foundation. They had a lot of, it was very diverse. They had a lot of variety to it, which I definitely enjoyed as well. University of Oklahoma, just great in general. The campus, historic, just looks really, really cool. There's a lot of options on campus for sure. Various things, including a really cool student union that definitely stood out to me. Various research rooms as well, and it's kind of hard to speak on because all of their aviation classes take place at the airport, believe it or not. Oklahoma State, most of the classes actually take place on campus, so that is definitely something that's kind of hard to speak on for OU, but awesome football stadium. Again, I'm just pointing out highlights for all of them. Usually all of them will have good everything, but awesome football stadium, great campus overall, great sports, great variety. They're very successful in what they do, and overall, University of Oklahoma, absolutely awesome. If you guys don't know, my parents are both graduates of Oklahoma, which is definitely one of the biggest influences in that as well. So that was definitely a key part of the equation as well. Dad absolutely loves OU. There's no other way to put it. I mean, it is insane, his love for that. So absolutely loves OU, and I dearly respect that because OU is absolutely awesome. It's a great institution. Overall, just a great place to be in general. So that visit went really well. Was really happy with that, and that was absolutely awesome to say the least. Kind of by word of mouth and also a little bit of research, there was another smaller school that really sparked my interest as this process went throughout. And in August of 2021, we visited the University of Southeastern Oklahoma State. Southeastern Oklahoma State, this one you guys probably haven't heard of as much. So this is a smaller school located in southeastern Oklahoma, near the Oklahoma-Texas border. It's actually closer to Dallas than it is to me, which is kind of funny, but yeah, it's a really cool small school near the border. It's located in the Reno, to be particular, which you guys know where Ada is, south of Ada. Southeastern Oklahoma State, I've never been there or had any affiliations with Southeastern Oklahoma State, but what I did know is it looked like their professional pilot aviation program as a whole was really, really good. So I was very curious, and we got to go take a look and a visit. Now, it was really nice. Their campus was definitely smaller. Not necessarily like my high school campus by any means, but it was definitely smaller, which was definitely interesting to say the least. It was quite a unique experience, but their campus seemed really cool as a whole. They had a really cool flower garden thing and very nice classrooms, a cool student union. It's very unique. It was definitely a smaller, consolidated campus for sure, which was definitely unique to say the least. And the airport was definitely a unique situation. One thing that really stood out to me was it was an uncontrolled control tower, which was quite interesting. Definitely an interesting thought there. But their fleet was pretty good. It probably wasn't up to par with these two, but it was still solid. They had a variety of Cessna 152s, Cessna 172s, and also a multi-engine Cessna 310. And the recent addition to the Cirrus aircraft were also awesome for them as well, which was really, really cool. Really, really nice overall. It was a solid facility, to say the least. It was very good. And they definitely took care of their stuff just like everybody else as well, which is another thing that really stood out to me as well. So ultimately, there was a lot of good with Southeastern Oklahoma State. It was a really good, it was definitely weird because we obviously progressed from here, and obviously I never knew anything about them, but researched it, took a look, heard good things from these two when we were talking about it. And one thing you'll find throughout, and for anybody interested in getting into aviation, or at least from what I saw, this isn't like a recruiting process by any means. It was really interesting because when meeting with aviation particular directors and such, they really didn't necessarily push you to come, which was really interesting. This was more of a, hey, this is what we have to offer, go where you fit in best, which was really interesting. Now, the reason I feel like this is really a key thing here is because the success rate in aviation is a lot lower compared to other degrees and things along those lines. This is a very challenging field in general, especially to become a professional pilot. There is so many hurdles that you have to jump, and there's just a lot overall that you have to go to the measures of to make sure that your experience is going to be great. So it is very challenging. It's very hard. So I feel like that's the way that's why it's orientated in that manner. But that's all right. I mean, that's kind of what it is. So we took it as we could and did our best with it. So it was still a very good visit. I really enjoyed Southeastern Oklahoma State, and it was definitely in the running to that point as well. Last but certainly not least, in October, we found one more school that really sparked my interest, and that is Kansas State University. Kansas State is quite a unique school as well. So their main campus is actually located in Manhattan, Kansas, But believe it or not, they actually have an aerospace and technology campus that is located in Salina, Kansas, which is a little bit closer to me. Still a pretty long drive in 3.5 hours. Well, depends what your definition of long is, but for me that was a little bit long for this intention. So, but we got to go up there and take a look for the first time in October, and it was really, really cool. One of the most unique things about this campus is it is very, very small and consolidated, right on the airport at Salina Regional Airport, which was very unique. They had a campus, you know, it was very small, only one cafeteria, you had 2 dorm facilities, various classrooms, of course, and exercise facility and things along those lines. But it was very unique. It kind of reminded me of, what's the best way to compare this to? I'm not sure what the best thing to compare it to, but okay, actually, yes, I do. It was pretty much, if you guys know what ERAU, Embry-Riddle University's campus looks like, it is a consolidated version of that, pretty much, is what it reminded me of. So it was very unique. It was really, really cool, and it was definitely quite unique to say the least. Their aviation was also very nice. They had a magnitude assessment 172, so kind of like this here as well. But they also recently just got new Cirrus aircraft as well, and to complement that, they also have some Barons for their multi-engine operations, along with, I believe they have some, they even have a tailwheel aircraft, which is really cool. You can do some training in. So they definitely had some options in that regard, and it was really, really nice. So Kansas State, Salina campus, very unique, really fascinating to get to see and learn about, and just quite a unique vibe to say the least. If you were kind of that person that wanted to get involved with every campus activity, every club, have multiple variations of what you do in your day, that probably isn't the best for you, and I would even argue that this as well. But it was still very cool, and you know, obviously in a niche-based field like this, a lot of people are just so like-minded that it really doesn't matter, and all they want to do is talk about their field, and that's kind of what I do as well. So that is definitely why it stayed in the running for me, and it's quite unique, and they definitely attract people from all across the United States as well, and even internationally too, which was really cool. Definitely stood out right there. So that was the initial round of visits, and we kind of learned a lot as we went on. You know, starting here, we kind of had to develop questions and learn about different things from the FAA and what an FTP 141, Part 141 program looks like in the aviation field. Then we kind of got here, learned a little bit, had expectations, and then by the time we got here in October, we knew quite a bit. So we definitely made thorough and logical decisions for sure, and it was really well assessed. Now, after this point, after looking at all these over a 3-month span, I wouldn't say I was necessarily clueless, but man, these are great options. I am so fortunate that I have the options I did for this decision. And let me tell you, if I was living elsewhere, like Texas is a big time struggle just because of, they do have some good stuff, but most of their stuff is very expensive. And that was definitely a factor going into this as well. We wanted to make the most efficient decision possible, but also the best quality as well, and what my best fit would be as a whole. So that obviously various factors, but just trying to think of another example off the top of my head. Can't really think of much in the Northwest that's elite by any means. And there's various places throughout the United States that don't quite have this fortune of having so many good aviation options in the area. Of course, you know, in the upper, to the right in the Midwest, you know, that Ohio region with Michigan, that's a really good area. Indiana, all of that's really good. So there's a lot of places that are really good, but it just really depends on what the situation is. But again, very fortunate to be in this position. Now, with that being said, that takes us into kind of this big time intermission. It was all the way from October to March. I did not do a single college visit or anything. I just sat here and thought about it for quite some time. Now, obviously, I weighed pros and cons really heavily and kind of just went down the list. Obviously, any of these I would be beyond fortunate to be with any of these options. So this is why this decision came down to the wire, and it was so challenging because all these options were so good. There's really no other way to put it. They were phenomenal. But kind of going down the list, you know, I started weighing, you know, the fleets and what kind of learning experience I would have, what kind of experience in general I would have with obviously all these flight teams. That's definitely something I hope to be a part of. Flight teams and AAE is another organization, just various organizations I could be a part of, you know, what kind of friends that I would be able to make, what kind of aviation enthusiasts would be there, what kind of pilots I would be able to see, and just many things in general. I mean, we can go on about the whole list of pros and cons, but quite frankly, I don't think we have time to do that. So we're kind of going to fast forward, and after several conversations and just all kinds of thoughts and opinions and thinking and announcements, just so many different things. When we finally got to, I believe it was February, I made my first elimination from this process. And unfortunately, Southeastern Oklahoma State was the first to go. Now that was unfortunate because Southeastern Oklahoma State is a great institution. They had an awesome aviation facility in general. But unfortunately, due to the logistics, I thought that some of the other options were a little bit better for what I was doing. And just overall as a whole, there was so many better things, or not so many better things, but it kind of stood out to me. And the other thing I noticed, the other institutions were a little bit more proactive when it came to thinking about their students, kind of from my experience, kind of from what I saw. So I could brag about a lot of these institutions and spend several times. And again, that institution, I did not mean to throw it off that aggressively or anything. That is an awesome institution. It is super good. I would recommend anybody, especially if you live in Texas, to go there. It's very close. It's really, really nice. They have a great fleet. Director was awesome, but unfortunately, due to the logistics, that one had to be eliminated. Now we're down to 3 phenomenal options for myself. Obviously, as you guys know, just a couple of different things. Oklahoma State's close to me. It's a nice institution. They got a lot of great things going. I've took some classes concurrently, or dual credit, maybe known as, around the United States with them. And it was definitely something that I was really interested in, and it was really, really nice. University of Oklahoma, I talked about my parents' connection. It'd be so cool to continue that legacy, of course, and various other reasons that went into that as well. And then Kansas State as well, really unique campus, probably would have a lot of like-minded people, a little far from home, but definitely a really, really cool institution to say the least. So with that being said, we decided to revisit all 3 of them. So we revisited Kansas State in late March of 2022, and we got to see their brand new Cirrus aircraft along with the campus again. Got to speak with a professor and the director, which was really cool. So that was really nice to pick those pieces there, get some additional opinions. Obviously, a lot of thought and time has went into it, so we got to ask some really good questions, and it was a very good experience once again. It was absolutely phenomenal. Back at the University of Oklahoma, we went after that. And we got we went to Oklahoma State first. We did campus at OU again. We did not do campus at OSU again. So that was kind of the thing there. But at Oklahoma State, it was great to get to see their brand new facility, which is super, super nice, man. That thing's a unit, man. One of the biggest things that's underrated is they have 37 cubic corners for flight instructors. That is incredible. That is, dang, if you're gonna need space to work with your student, that's gonna be there. So that is really nice. So they definitely have the ability there. So that was really cool. So that was definitely really nicely done. And also just really cool lounge area, great flight simulator rooms, all kinds of fun stuff. Not to say that this wasn't good nor this, but this was very impressive, brand new built. It was absolutely awesome. So great visit there. Got to see the aircraft once again. The new apron's also really nice. So that was absolutely awesome. And then back to OU we went again. Got to speak with the director again, which is absolutely awesome. Got to see various things. Their fleet once again, which is absolutely incredible. It was super nice. I got to see campus again. Really good vibe going into it. Got to see some dorm options and all that fun stuff. So there's a lot of really good stuff, and it was very impressive to get to see it as a whole. So that was absolutely awesome. But unfortunately, the time came that it was time to start getting closer on the decision. And unfortunately, the next school that's going to bite the dust is going to be Kansas State Salina, which is really unfortunate. And I'm going to try to be a little bit more gentle as that one unfortunately has to go. Kansas State's absolutely awesome. They have a really cool, very cool consolidated campus, great fleet, great everything. Unfortunately, I just thought that the opportunity would be a little bit greater, closer to home, which was a big factor in why I had to eliminate that. Their consolidated campus was also really nice, and they had a lot of great things going there, and it was really, really good. But the distance was one of the big ones, just a few other small things here and there. But for the most part, absolutely amazing. I would have been super happy to go there, but you only get to make one choice in this decision. That's where we're down to 2. The University of Oklahoma and Oklahoma State University right here. Now, this was one of the hardest choices of my life, I can tell you this. Both are outstanding schools, both have so many opportunities, so many resources, close to home, just so many options and so much going for both of them. You have a great school in OU, super, super nice, great sports once again, great campus, just the list goes on of how many great things they have at their institution. Then you also have Oklahoma State University, again, another outstanding institution, super awesome fleet, super awesome facility, great resources, great classes, great experience nevertheless between both. But unfortunately, a decision had to be made, and Ladies and gentlemen, this was, again, one of the hardest choices that I had to make of my life. And I knew that making the right one was pivotal and for my future and for what I was going to hold going forward. And I'm going to restart the camera before the time goes out. And somehow, it was going to have to be done. And again, this decision took a lot of time. But man, I think that this is going to be one of the best decisions of my life. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, the university that I will be attending in the fall 2022 semester, and also for so many more years to come, with so much opportunity, so much experience, so many outlets, so many future potentials, and so much to come going forward, will be, just a moment please, if you guys don't mind, Oklahoma State University. Wow. Pistols firing, here we go, boys. Man, I'll be attending Oklahoma State University to pursue my passion of aviation and my future career going forward in the aviation field as a professional pilot. Wow, what a decision this is, man. Super excited. Obviously got Pistol P right here on my shirt. Absolute legend right there. Super excited to make this decision. Man, it's going to be absolutely awesome. Go Pokes. So excited. So I will be attending Oklahoma State. I'm super excited about this decision. Ultimately, there was various reasons what brought me to Oklahoma State, and we're going to be talking about a few of those going forward. But just first and foremost, as a whole big picture, my opportunity and experience at OSU I assess to be my best possible future going forward. There is so many opportunities to be provided at Oklahoma State University with their aviation program and the whole institution in general that I'm super excited to be a part of, and I'm just really excited for this opportunity going forward. So the first thing I'm going to start with were the reasons, and I'm not going to go into every single little detail of course, but there's some kind of the big picture stuff. Beginning with their aircraft fleet, this is obviously one of the most pivotal parts of a institution, and Oklahoma State's fleet was absolutely incredible. Of course, they have a great variety of aircraft between the Cessna 172s, the CRS R-20s, the Piper Seminoles, the Cessna 152s as well. They have a lot of absolutely awesome aircraft. And it's so cool to see the diversity in their fleet. I think it's really unique. And they have so much going, which is so cool. They also have several aircraft as well, so getting an aircraft should not be a problem as of right now, which is super cool, and I'm really excited. I also believe their flight instructor availability is also very good too, so hopefully that goes great as well. And ultimately, very exciting. I mean, just an absolute W right there. I'm so excited for the fleet at Oklahoma State University, and as a whole, it is absolutely incredible, which is so exciting. Also, another thing to mention, and it is really cool, is the brand new building. Their brand new flight center is also very cool. I'm not saying that this has a ton of weight on it, but it's really cool to get to see this and also have great learning environments for me and my flight instructors, and that goes for every student at Oklahoma State in the aviation program as well. Great opportunities as well, and just feels really good, you know, if I ever need to go in there and do some studying or you know, whatever the case may be, that will be a great resource to have as well. So that is super nice. Next up, just the opportunity experience in general. This is definitely the biggest thing that I weighed, because ultimately this is one of the biggest 4 years, and maybe even for me more than that, in your life. I mean, college is a big time. Secondary education, it can be very stressful, but it can also be some of the best years of your life. Obviously, from long hours of studying to crazy final exams to so much homework, it is a lot, and that goes without saying. But the good news is there is so many opportunities and windows at Oklahoma State and all kinds of other universities that are going to make this experience so much fun, such as getting to interact with fellow aviation enthusiasts consistently for the first time in my life. Man, I am so excited for that. I can't even begin to start on that. I'm not going to go on for that about forever, but you guys have seen how many videos I've made, and even more to come, of course, and obviously all the content and just all the interactions I've had with you guys on social media. I'm so excited to get to do that in a like-minded environment, and it's just going to be so fun to do that. And again, this could have been done anywhere, but I think Oklahoma State provides the best resources, which was also really cool to get to see fellow aviation enthusiasts on Instagram in the Oklahoma State Aviation program as well, which is absolutely awesome. Super excited to get to meet up with you guys, get to work. It's going to be absolutely awesome. And just in general, I mean, we can go on about so many more outlets than that. Flight teams are going to be super exciting, man. I'm so excited for the OSU flight team. Really hope to be a part of that. That's going to be so cool if I am. The flight team is so cool. I just got to see their social media platforms and all the experience they get to do, whether it's from spotting at Founders Plaza to working on stuff around the United States, going to national competitions and competing. That just is so fun, man. So that is so cool, and I'm very excited to be a part of that as well. And just in general, there's plenty of opportunities and windows. I can go on about it for hours, but for at this time, we'll just say that the opportunity experience is going to be great as well. And also just the campus in general, so many great options for amenities, classes, variety. It's just really good, and I'm really excited to get to utilize those assets. It's going to be absolutely awesome. I'm super excited for it, and I mean, it pretty much goes without saying that this is going to be a W, so absolutely excited. It's going to be so cool, and just in general, it is absolutely incredible. And one of the biggest last factors is just the proximity to where I live. Of course, like I said, going into this, going far away, like beyond 5 hours, was out of the question. And getting to be close to home, to be able to not only get to do life over there, but also be to come back here, keep working on stuff with my family, friends, and all kinds of projects as well. And also just in general with all the things I do, just in general, the logistical standing of being close to home is awesome. And it's just going to be so nice to be able to get to work on various things. And I'm just very happy to be able to be in a position to be in a spot where if I ever need to come home and that sort of thing, that will be a piece of cake. So that is so exciting. We're really excited, and the proximity overall is just really nice. So that kind of leads us into the future. Now we're going to have to do a whole nother video to talk about the future, because that's a whole different topic about this channel. Trust me, we're not going anywhere. Again, I've said this several times in videos. It may be slightly changing, but we're going to be here. But obviously things may be different. And the future is definitely going to be bright going forward, guys. And I promise, to the best of my ability and everything that I can do, I will be so excited to share it with you guys. It's going to be absolutely awesome to get the document, and that's kind of my plan also, not just with the model airplanes, not just with the real life content, not just with the flight simulators, but also get the document the real life of a student pilot at an institution, which is so exciting as well. I'm not saying that I'm going to go vlogging the airplane by any means, but you can definitely expect some different experiences, tips and tricks, how-tos, all that fun stuff within reason will definitely be coming to you guys. So I'm so excited to get to share that out with you guys. I know there's a lot of people that are currently looking to go into the aviation field and work on these things, and I definitely want to try to help to the best of my ability, whether it's just giving simple advice or just giving you guys entertainment and informing you guys of maybe what to expect and that sort of thing. It's definitely something I hope to do going forward. My #1 goal on this channel is to share my passion for aviation with you guys, and hopefully benefit you guys in any way, whether that's informing you guys, entertaining you guys, or something along those lines. That is my #1 goal, and always will continue to be. And I believe that this gives me the best opportunity to do that as well. But that will be a conversation that we'll talk more in depth about going into the future. But man, what a decision, guys. I mean, this has been an absolutely crazy journey, but I'm so excited for what's to come. I think it goes without saying that this is going to be some of the biggest years of my life, and there's definitely a lot of potentials. You know, I would absolutely love to get some experience in aviation management as well, and even that may even be the way I go, who knows. But definitely professional pilot, hopefully some aviation management, who knows, maybe even a master's in aviation. I know that's an option at Oklahoma State, which is super cool. So it'd be very cool to do that maybe, but again, there's a lot that goes into this, and we're just getting started, man. Our time's just getting started. You guys have been the foundation and gave me the outlet to share my passion for aviation. I can't thank you guys enough. And that will continue to be the case as we take it up to the next level and do it on a regular basis, which is so exciting. And I cannot thank you guys enough for being here. It is so exciting, and again, you guys just don't understand how much it means to me, and I can never express it through words, messages, whatever the case may be. It will never be able to be expressed adequately, but I can tell you going forward, I will definitely make every best effort and everything I can to ensure that you guys will get the best quality experience here on my channel and everywhere that you can find me on social media as well. Man, what a decision, man. This took some time. But I'm really pleased with the effort, and ultimately I think that this will hopefully be, as long as everything goes according to plan, some of the best years of my life, and I'm so excited for what's to come going into the future. Thank you guys so much for all your support once again. I just cannot emphasize how much it means to me. You guys are the foundation, and laying this foundation has been something that I've worked super hard on, you know. Obviously going from not getting many views per video to getting on recently over 1,000 views. Almost every video has just been incredible. So I just cannot thank you guys enough for supporting me, continue to believe in me, continuing to interact and doing what we love and loving what we do. It means the absolute world to me. I cannot thank you guys enough, and I am so excited to continue to share my journey with you guys and just going into the future, what amazing experiences we're going to be. It's going to be absolutely awesome. I'm so excited for it, and I hope you guys are as well. I don't think there's any better way to conclude this video than with that. I mean, guys, it just means the absolute world to me. I cannot emphasize it enough. You guys are the foundation. We're going to continue to emphasize that and going forward. I'm just so excited for what's to come. I hope you guys are as well. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'd appreciate all you guys' support. But Oklahoma State University, you'll be seeing me coming very soon. Pistols firing, go Pokes. So excited for it. Hope you guys are as well. Thank you guys for all the support, and I'll be eager to see what you guys have to say. Let me know what you guys think. I'll be very eager to hear. But with all that being said, that will do it for today's video. Everybody, thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Redriveraviation. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe. Trust the process. Do what you love and love what you do. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon at Oklahoma State University as Redriveraviation is signing off.